What's going on, guys? I'm Dr. P. We're right in the thick of Kevin activating his runes, the butterfly event is right on the horizon, and we're even about to invade the spirit realm on the BR side of things. But today I want to keep talking about the future of OG. In my last video, I challenged you guys to give me your best long-term theories, and oh boy, did you guys deliver. Of course, as always, please drop your theories in the comments below or join the Dr. P Discord for a chance to be featured in the next one. Baxter said he wants to get 300 likes on this video, so hit that like button and subscribe for more videos. First up on the report, we have Vazarin, who says, "Whoa, I was in a video. Cool." Well, Vazarin, you're in another one. Since we know Visitor Reality Unknown is still on the island and we know Paradigm piloted the original Mech, I wonder if that might alter the Mech vs. Monster fight, as potentially both could be working on the Mech, and there's also a chance Epic makes Singularity the Paradigm or something. In OG Season 9, the Mecha was surprised from the back as Caddis jumped out of the water, but with the Visitor being there, maybe he could warn the pilot ahead of time. I don't know the exact odds, but there are two possibilities in this theory. The first is there is a chance, I think, that they might pull the ultimate twist and really make Singularity the Paradigm. For years, people were theorizing that this was already the case, and literally there were tons of different hints in-game. It was almost like they were trying to hint at us intentionally, even though they knew that was not the case. Donald Mustard even said Singularity is a member of the Order and she helped build the Mech, while Paradigm piloted it. It was indeed hinted that they were the same person, but that was a misdirection, so even he is pretty much admitting they were being intentionally deceitful. The probability might be low, but there is a non-zero chance that they could do this, and it would be so epic. Now, let's talk about the second point here. If the Visitor Reality Unknown is on the island, and we know that he already has all his memories, like he's recalling all the things, all the POIs and such, there's a possibility that when this fight goes down, he might try to give some insight to the pilot. The example given was for the Mech to stay ready and stay on its guard so that when it jumps back out of the water, it doesn't get its arm ripped off. I can't wait to see how this fight goes down this time around. In regards to the cube turning back to red, we have Creative King, who says what confuses me the most is the fact that the rune symbols are back to their old symbols and not the new ones that Revan left, along with their color back to purple as well. So I don't know what would logically turn the cube red again if the anomalies don't turn them red. He's of course referring to the 21 different red rift oddities that are scattered across the 7 different corrupted sites, 3 on each. This made a lot of sense that these would turn the cube back to red for a while, but unfortunately it kinda doesn't look like that anymore. Alley Jack says every oddity is placed directly above the spawner for Havoc Stones. It seems that the goal for these oddities was to be some kind of an explanation for Havoc Stones replacing Shadow Stones. Basically, these oddities are likely meaningless because the team thought their connection to the Havoc Stones would be immediately obvious. I mean, come on, have you guys even met the Fortnite lore community? That is crazy. But it seems like this is the community consensus, and a lot of people agree with this, and unfortunately, it does make sense. So unless the red cube growths have something to do with maybe the cube turning back into red, it's looking like that idea might be cooked, chat. Dog, the Dr. P Discord resident Fortnite leaker, tends to agree because he digs into the files and he finds that these assets are purple. Doesn't mean they can't change. It's happened before, but it's not a good sign. It's still like that as of today, right now as I'm uploading this video, and it is called a Deimos Vortex in the files. Deimos is just the code name for the Cube Fiends. It literally translates to Cube Fiend Vortex. He does say he doesn't think this is gonna be another like Cube Lake situation where they did change the color, because there's a lot more assets that need to be recolored this time as opposed to the Cube Lake, which only had like 4. Now let's talk about OG Season 7. I can't wait for this season. It's gonna be so fun to see the Ice King back. But we've got a theory from Sans. The OG pass could consist of Zenith, the Prisoner, and the Ice King. During the original Season 7, 2 big events occurred: the melting of the Prisoner's icy chains and the revealing of the Imagined Order's new bunker. We know from Chapter 3, Season 2, and the scrapped Order Guard loading screen that Zenith is an agent for the IO, formerly under Sloane's command before the IO fell. Bearing in mind all of the different assortments of flashing lights we've seen at the IO bunker in Wailing Woods, Sand says, what if in OG Season 7, Zenith is recruited by the IO to investigate the Ice Kingdom and the prisoner's whereabouts? During the Zero War comics, especially issue 4, Jones meets the Ice King, and he tells the crew that the IO always wondered what happened to him, referring to his disappearance in Season 9. So what if, in this remixed variant of the storyline, Zenith is in charge of keeping track of both kings and relaying that intel back to IOHQ? Zenith never really got a ton of lore originally, so it would be really cool to see an actual confirmed IO agent, which we know he is, finally get some time in the limelight. I can't wait for that whole prisoner storyline again with all that ice melting at Polar Peak. Just like anything else these days, you really can't help but wonder what is going to be different, because I can almost certainly assure you there will be differences. On a side note, there's no way they bring the Infinity Blade back for just one day and then vault it again, right? That was one of the most OG things of all time, in my opinion. That one day was like the coolest thing ever with that broken sword, and then it got sent straight to the Shadow Realm literally less than 24 hours later. This is really refreshing to read from Skycrafter, who says, I'd be fine if the events are different. In fact, that could be better, as it would make the mode evolve in a unique way. All I need are some good quality events. You know, if everything was actually staying entirely 100% the same up to this point, I feel like we would be so bored of this mode and we would never be talking about it the way we are. Obviously, with the whole story being reignited, there would be nothing to theorize on if we just knew that everything was going to happen exactly the same way, and it was basically just a rerun of the original story. Nostalgia is a strong and very real thing, but it can only do so much for you. It could not carry you like 11 or 10 months or however long it's been since Fortnite OG has been out. Something of note that I want to share with you guys, because I want to get your takes on it, is this B-side dialogue from Warwolf Dyer. In this very peculiar line, he says, "The eye of time is upon us, soldier." There's been a theory going out there for a while now. I think it was popularized by Restro, but basically the theory is that Fortnite OG is basically the past of Reality Zero. And really, I've kind of avoided that theory for a while because I personally didn't really believe it that much, but this is certainly a piece of that foundation for the theory being built. One way or the other, this certainly means something, so I would love to ask you guys. I would love to make a full video going in depth on this theory, so let me know if you like that. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you're new, as well as use code Dr. P in the Fortnite item shop. I would really appreciate it. I'll see you in the next video.